What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Game Day with Trey. This your host Trey. That's my homeboy Face,
What up, world?
and we're gonna go ahead and come to you guys with some good information, straight facts, nothing, no cut on it, nothing but that real. All right. So let me go ahead and let's start this thing off. All right. First, I want you guys to understand that we are talking about the NFC South. All right, we're gonna name the top four quarterbacks in the NFC South. We're gonna give you our rankings. All right, as well as we're gonna cover the fantasy and PPR. Now, when I'm talking about fantasy and PPR and all that stuff, I still like to cover the actual projections and what's gonna happen on that field, man. So I'm gonna give you that as well. But let's start this list off. Face, who you got at the bottom of the barrel in the NFC South?
Bottom of the barrel, quarterback wise, I think I'm gonna have to get that to Atlanta. Ritter. I think Ritter. I think Atlanta. I think that's gonna be the probably the worst in this group. In this group, he got to be at the bottom.
Now, I can't help but agree with you right now, brother, because at the end of the day, when we're talking about Desmond Ritter, he was a quarterback that I did like when he was coming out of Cincinnati. Okay. He did a lot with the little bit of weapons that he had and a little bit of talent that he was surrounded by. But at the end of the day, you're also talking about someone who was a fifth year senior, I want to say. Okay.
Yeah,
All right. So when you're a fifth year senior, that usually means that you took a lot of development to get to the point that you got to. All right. Desmond Ritter has been surrounded in Atlanta by nothing but the best talent college football can offer. All right. Right now, he's got Drake London coming in the second year. They at wide receiver. They drafted Bijan Robinson at running back this year. They drafted Kyle Pitts, the tight end out of Florida, about 2 years ago. I'm telling you these names because these are some of the greatest college football players in the last 5 years to come out of college football. These are some of the best prospects that have been out there. So they've given him weapons. This year, he is supposed to be successful. This year, he is supposed to take that next step. This year, he is supposed to be the quarterback that they drafted and that they were thinking about when they picked him up. But at the end of the day, Face, man, they play D in the NFC South. Okay. Normally, right now in these moments, we just straight talk about the quarterback. Okay, but you got to kind of take in what they're actually going against. All right. So when you're putting somebody to the level of Desmond Ritter against the Saints defense, the Bucks defense, even Carolina's defense. All right. You're talking about some of the best defenses in the NFL right now. Now, I know the NFL is not predicated on defense. That's why I'm going to give you the PPR numbers for one Desmond Ritter. All right. But at the end of the day, come on now. Uh, that's why these numbers are what they are. Because Mike Clay actually has Desmond Ritter projected for a total of 2,777 yards, 14 touchdowns, nine interceptions, 28 projected sacks, 170 rushing yards, one touchdown rushing. And right now, he's that. Wow. He is the 29th ranked quarterback in all of fantasy PPR with 168 points. Oh, I'm sorry. Not 29th. 31st, you guys. 31st. So he's the one before the last. And you tell me what you think, but the 4 to 7 wins that he's projected to win, Even if they run the ball, even if Bijan is what Bijan's supposed to be, even if he's able to get the ball to Kyle Pitts and he's able to get the ball to Drake London and he is able to hand the ball off to Cordell Patterson and he is giving it to Algier from BYU and he is doing all the things that he is supposed to do as a quarterback in the NFL. And I'm not sure if that's going to be enough in the NFC South, man. What say you, Face?
Hey, that's why I put him at the bottom. He earned that spot.
That's facts.
Put a, I ain't put him there. I just, nope, it is what it is. I just feel like he's going to be at the bottom. So,
I mean, you can only rate somebody off of what you've seen. Okay, and Desmond Ritter did play a couple games last year, if I memory serves me correctly. But what he put up wasn't even worth me talking about right now. And when we're talking about the stats and there and me giving the information that I give, if I don't give you the previous seasons or the quarterback's previous season, it's either college, and I'm not going to give you that, or because it does not compare to the NFL. Let's just caveat in that. I'm not going to give you the college because it does not compare to the NFL. So I'm not going to talk about that when we're talking about a player that just came into the league. But when you're talking about somebody like Desmond Ritter who didn't really put up no numbers last year or put up any numbers last year, then you're talking about somebody who did have Kyle Pitts for a little bit before Kyle Pitts got hurt. Did have Drake London for a little bit before Drake London got hurt. When I'm giving you that information, it's because of the fact that the team consistently stays hurt. So what can we expect from Desmond Ritter if the team is consistently hurt around him and these weapons that they're investing in with first round picks, second round picks, first round picks? Need I go on, man?
number 3.
Who you got?
I'm gonna go with the young fella. I'm gonna go with Bryce Young.
Okay, wasn't Bryce Young your no, I'm sorry, that was CJ Stroud. That was your dark horse the other night and on the other one. So Bryce Young, number 3, I can respect that and I can agree with that. But tell me why, Face.
Because I just feel like the potential, the upside to the kid is like, I feel like once he gets a couple weapons placed around him, you'll see him like take a lot of bigger steps. Because I feel like he got a potential to be one of the NFL's best quarterbacks in the next few years. I really feel like he has that type of potential. So if he lives up to what I feel like I've seen from him, then I feel like he's gonna do pretty good as a quarterback. I just feel like he need a couple of weapons, and being that he coming in at a rebuilding state, I don't really expect him to have Super Bowl type numbers, but I just want to see him progress. I want to see how much he progressed from this season to the next, and then I guess after they see him and see how he performed, they'll know what to put around him. So I feel like, for real, I feel like, I know he's gonna need some help. I know again he can't do it by himself. I know he don't have a lot of weapons in Carolina right now, but at the end of the day, I feel like he's a good stock quarterback. I feel like he's gonna be able to do what he got to do.
Well, Face, I can't help but agree with you on the positioning of this quarterback. I do myself put him at number 3 on my list as well. But at the same time, I'm taking into everything into account, right? So first off, his stature on the field is up here, right? The stature on the field up here. Physical stature on the field down here. Okay. So we're talking about somebody who's an undersized quarterback who went to Alabama, yes, ran a pro style offense, yes, played in the SEC, yes, had a plethora of weapons around him, yes, great offensive line, yes, all of the bells and whistles, the best coach in college football, yes. But did Bryce Young fully become who he could become at this point? I'm not questioning his talent or what he's going to produce this year. But what I'm saying is he's come to a point right now to where he's stepping into a league where it's filled with giants. All right. And I think he can perform on any level. I honestly do. I've watched a lot of film on the young man going back to high school. All right. I like Bryce Young. But without weapons, like you said, Face, when you're talking about Terrence Marshall and you're talking about no Christian McCaffrey anymore, don't no DJ Moore anymore, um, you're talking about a world of trouble for a young quarterback. Young quarterback's got to have weapons and someone to depend on, and that's why
That's why.
he's looking.
But guess what? All you do is force the ones around you and turn them into weapons. That's what good quarterbacks do. We ain't looking for you to do to be superstar players. But if you can make those around you better at any point, you know what I mean? I feel like that'll be enough. I ain't expecting to turn them
But see,
into all pro receivers in this one season. But if you got a good quarterback, I know what a good quarterback could do for a team. So I feel like if he could go in there and get the locker room and get these guys behind him, he'll make those guys better, and the team will want to go and get better weapons for him because he can corral the team and bring them in and lead this team. Once he's shown they could do that, then you could go and try to get some big names. Because you know what the big names come, big egos. So you gotta, you know what I mean, for real. So you know you don't want to. Some of them quarterbacks, it might not be the best for them to have those type of weapons coming in the league, and they gonna think that this is what it's about. You gotta have a competition between receivers, and that's a frustration for a quarterback. So by him not having those type of receivers on the team, it might work in his favor too. Yeah, because
it could.
he'll learn to appreciate the help when it comes, and he'll be a better leader by the time these dudes come with those
It,
different egos. So
it could. I honestly believe that Terrence Marshall has the ability or the talent to become one of a top 20 wide receiver in the league. Okay, which is which is pretty good.
sometimes it's the chemistry.
He just got to
These
build chemistry.
players
They
together.
also in the offseason they also did pick up Miles Sanders. For the running back out of Philadelphia. So they got a new running back to pair back there with Chuba Hubbard from Oklahoma State, who ran the ball great last year. All right. They still got DJ Chark at wide receiver. They picked up Adam Thielen. They picked up Jonathan Mingo in the draft out of Mississippi State. And they got Hayden Hurst. So they got some stuff, but they really don't have some stuff. Okay, the cupboard is pretty bare when you're talking about dealing with a rookie quarterback. I mean, but when you look at what Mike Clay's projections are, okay, his fantasy projections got him going for 3,560 yards, 18 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, 41 sacks, 162 rushing yards, and two rushing touchdowns. All right, that's good for 209 points at a rank of 25th. So that's not bad considering a rookie year and an undersized quarterback coming into the league. This and that, the third. That's a lot of respect. But man, I just feel like it might be a little bumpier for him than that. But at the end of the day, the defense is going to keep him in the game. So that's why they got him projected to win, or actually not they. I kind of got him projected. All right. To win between 4 and 7 games. Now, the reason I say between 4 and 7 games, because like I told you guys before, I do use a projective percentile that I stop at. If they're not projected to win a game by more than 56%, then I'm not gonna pick them. I'm not gonna say that they're projected to win that game, and I'm gonna give them the L on that. So these are honest and fair projections we're giving you, comparisons through ESPN and Mike Clay. Face, how you feel about that win total?
No, the win total.
Yes, sir. Between 4 and 7 wins.
That. I feel like that's an honest projection. You just said it yourself. The cupboard is bare. So by them even winning 4 games, That's that might be a fair assessment because
Well,
you just said he don't have the weapons. I would I would say that's pretty good with what they were going in there with. To be honest with you, Carolina is like they was really trying to get rid of everybody. They was trying to get rid of all the contracts and start a rebuild. So they're gonna have to face that. And I think they know going in that they ain't gonna have much success this season. But at the end of the day, that's a sacrifice that you make when you're trying to clear the canvas and start your new painting. And
that's
hopefully it'll work
fact.
out for them. I feel like they got a good coaching staff. They got a good coaching staff. I'm pretty sure it ain't gonna take them as long as we think it's gonna take them. But they start with the main piece. You got to get the quarterback first.
Yep.
This is the lead. It's a pass-friendly league. You have to have that. You have to have that right center column before you can even start building because that's just what it is.
All right. So, Faith, if that's how you got who you got at number three, you got at number two.
Wake and bake, man. Baker Mayfield, man.
Ha! Yeah.
I got. I want to put it at the top because yeah, but I can't sit here and lie to the people. You know what I mean? I want you playing with my team. I want you at the top, and I hope you prove me wrong. But at the end of the day, I got Baker at number two.
Man, look, I think this list right here, this is the first list me and you have actually agreed 100% on. Okay. I want to put Baker, I want to put the six on the top, right? But I can't put the six on the top right now. All right. I can't.
You know, we,
I,
we both know Dan Carr a better quarterback than Baker Mayfield.
yeah.
You know
And
what I mean?
there's,
So
there's
no,
no debate at that. So that's why I got to give you why. Okay. Because remember, you got a Buccaneer hat on. I got a Buccaneer jersey on. And I got a flag behind me, man. Plus, plenty of other Buccaneer memorabilia. Okay. So for us to be speaking what could be perceived as blasphemy, let us give you some facts on why Baker will be number two. Now, if you look at Mike Clay's projections, he got him as the 31st best quarterback, all right? Last year, Baker threw for 2,163 yards while he played for two different teams when he was playing for the Carolina Panthers and a few games with the LA Rams. All right. He threw 10 touchdowns, eight interceptions. He got sacked 36 times. He rushed for one touchdown. His completion percentage was 61.4, and his QBR was a putrid 24.2. So when we're telling you what we're telling you, yeah, it could sound like we're jumping out the window, giving you some fugazi right now, okay? But you got to understand the situation that Baker Mayfield was in last year. Baker Mayfield was in Carolina, the team we just got done talking about, with the lack of weapons and all that stuff there, with a horrible coach last year, with Matt Rule. All right, Matt Rule is now gone. They have replaced him with a new head coach. Hence, why I could see some success in Carolina. But at the same time, all right, now that Baker, as soon as you saw Baker leave Matt Rule and he went to Sean McVay, he jumped off the plane getting W's. Now, he didn't win a whole bunch of games, but the point is that he came in, did not know anything, and showed that he can execute offense effectively and efficiently. All right. And those are the things right there that make a great quarterback or a good quarterback a great quarterback. Remember, Baker Mayfield was the number one pick in the draft. And I'm not saying that he was the best quarterback in that draft. But what I'm saying is that if someone or if a lot of people thought that he was the number one, usually that means that you have some kind of semblance of excellence within you. All right. And if you got that semblance of excellence within you, it can be pulled out by the right coaching system and the right point. I think Canales can do that. All right. I think he did that with Geno Smith over with the Seattle Seahawks. Okay. That's why I'm going to give you some numbers that I agree with, but I don't agree with some of it. Okay. Mike Clay, he got Baker projected for 2,427 yards, 12 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. To get sacked 27 times, 104 rushing yards. Okay. And just to be clear about everything, he says that Baker Mayfield is the worst quarterback in all of fantasy football and the NFL at 32nd with 138 PPR points. Projections was to win one game, if you ask Mike Clay. You ask me, it was between 0 and 6 for Mike Clay. If you ask me, it's between 6 and 9. So I'm gonna give you the reasons why I say that 0-6 ain't right. It's not happening. All right, we're talking about a team that is got weapons. You've got Chris Godwin at wide receiver, number 14. Okay, playing the X and the Y. He does it all. All right, and not only is he a big catch maker, but he's a soul taker. All right. Because when that man's out there blocking for the run, blocking on the run, or blocking for somebody else, he puts in that work. Okay. Then you got number 13, Mike Evans. Okay. You got 9 years straight, going on 10 years straight of 1,000-yard seasons. Man, you got to respect his gangster. You got to respect what that man doing, man. All right. He done played with about 9 different quarterbacks or 8 different quarterbacks, and he got 1,000 yards with every single one of them. So you telling me right now he's not going to get 1,000 yards this time? Just saying. Then you look at the defense. Now, last year the defense gave up all the way until week 15, 19 points, 19.1 points per game. All right. After week 15, for those final 3 weeks, we ended up giving up like another 2 points. So or 4 points. So it averaged down to a total of 21.5 points a game we gave up last year. That's 3 touchdowns or less. All right. In the NFL that we play in today, that is a great defense. That's a possible Super Bowl winning defense had you not lost all the games you lost when you were only giving up 19. 19 points. You losing games and you giving up 19 points? Man, look. All I'm saying is this. With all the weapons, with the defense that's all the way back, they brought everybody back, they're going to put Baker Mayfield in a position to succeed. And that's why I got him winning a minimum of 6 to 9 games. So no, for all y'all out here wondering if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are in the Caleb Williams hunt, I really don't think so. It would be nice. It would be good. We kind of need it. But that means resetting at every single position and resetting everything. And we're not doing that. Jason Light doesn't believe in that. The Glazers don't believe in that. And I honestly think that Baker Mayfield doesn't believe in that. He's never had a season like what you're projecting him to do. Baker Mayfield has never been a top 10 or a bottom 10 quarterback in the league. Just never been that. Last year, coming off shoulder surgery.
So it's obvious Derek Carr number 1.
I mean, he was in my top 5 quarterbacks in the NFC, not just the NFC South. He was number 2 on my list. He was number 2 on my list, or number 3 in the NFC South. The NFC. I want to say he was 2 because it was Jalen Hurts, and then it came Derek Carr.
Yeah.
Like, y'all got to understand and put some respect on this man's name. Derek Carr is one of the greatest quarterbacks in the NFL. And that's not saying a lot because most of them are in the AFC.
You say NFL, you mean to say the NFC.
Yeah.
You see what
Yeah. Probably in the NFC. I know. Hold up. I give him.
I still think he'll crack the top 10. I still think Derek Carr cracked the top 10.
Can you name a year? Can you name a year he didn't crack the top 12?
No, I'm saying as far as right now.
No, that's what I'm saying.
AFC.
I'm saying NFC, AFC. Can you think of a year where he didn't crack the top 12? He's always been in the top 12 quarterbacks in the NFL. Not the top 10 every year, but he does float around it. Minus the injury plagued year where he broke his leg and all that stuff there. Derek Carr is that dude. Like, look what he did with the Gruden stuff. We were talking about it the other day while Gruden was gone. And yeah, they brought Gruden in to help him bring this Raider offense out to New Orleans. But at the end of the day, man, when you talk about the number one quarterback in the NFC South, bringing in this old coach to help install the old offense that he ran, you got weapons like Michael Thomas, number 13. You got
But
41 out there keeping it fun with Alvin Kamara. You got Chris Olave at number 12 out there. You got Taysom Hill out there, man. You got a lot of good to great things going on in New Orleans with a top 10 defense. Do we need the stats? Do we need to know he threw for 3,522 yards last year? Do we need to know he did 24 touchdowns and 14 interceptions while he was a Raider and they sat him at the end of the season? Do we need to know that he only got sacked 27 times, like with a 60.8 completion percentage and
okay,
55.5 QBR with an 86.3 passer rating? Like, this man's a beast.
I don't even really think the numbers are necessary because guess what? We all agree. We already know. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But hey, I'm ready for some NFL. I'm ready for some football. To be honest with you, I'm ready. I'm ready for some games, man.
Hey, not only am I ready, I'm more than willing to cover it. And you guys, every single one of you guys that have been tuning in, have been locking into this podcast. First off, I want to say thank you.
Thank
Second off, I want to let you know that there's a lot more coming, and it will be coming on a regular basis as the seasons turn up. Because
you. This wine.
football, yeah,
This is wine time. We get better with time.
that's
We, you
fact.
know,
Now, let me go ahead and close this out. I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys the Derek Carr numbers just because we are at Derek Carr. I know I covered it the other day, but I'm gonna give it to you again. Mike Clay's projections: 3,907 yards, 24 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, same as last year. He gets sacked 33 times, so he gets sacked four more times this year because he actually plays four more games. Projected to run for 128 yards, one rushing touchdown. He is the 18th best quarterback in all of fantasy football with 242 total PPR points, and he's supposed to win between 9 and 14 games. Yes, between 9 and 14 games. They only play 17. Put for some
yeah,
respect on that man's name, man.
hey. Man, listen. The Bucks, they got us at the bottom. Carolina right there at the bottom, and Atlanta really ain't nothing. So that's down to 6 wins right there. If he could just run the NFC South. So
He ain't gonna do
uh,
that though. We already know that the Carolina Panthers got a good defense, and they're gonna come out and show out and show up. We're gonna
he
know the
ain't gonna
Bucks
be
are gonna come
done.
out and show out and show up. They're gonna lose at least one game to each one of those teams. They're not gonna. They might not lose. It depends on what Atlanta does with their running game and how they work everything
We
together
might
with
sweep
those three running backs
Baker.
they got. But it's
Baker,
all we got to see.
Baker might surprise everybody. Baker might surprise everybody.
No,
I'm just
Baker
putting
will
Derek Carr at
surprise
the top.
everybody.
That's what I'm
Baker,
saying. I just put Derek Carr at the top because just given the body of work, he deserved that spot. Even though Baker Mayfield on my team, if you look at that body of work, he deserves to be at the number one spot. So I had to give him his proper due. But at the end of the day, I'm still a Bucks fan, and I'm rooting for Baker. So Baker might surprise a lot of people because he got weapons just like he got weapons just like Derek Carr got weapons. So we just gonna see who forge their weapons the best and utilize their bullets the best. You know what I mean?
yes sir,
Because
yes sir.
they got a decent Michael Thomas. We got a decent Mike Evans. They got Wheels with Oliver. We got Will with Godwin ain't the fastest receiver, but I just like his work ethic. I like the way that he plays the game. So I feel like we're just gonna see that the best man win. But I don't see us getting swept by them.
Nah,
Derek Carr, you ain't that good.
nah, nah.
Derek Carr,
It
you
ain't
ain't
happening.
that good.
It ain't happening, brother. It ain't happening.
we ain't we ain't
Not with
putting
this
no
Dan Canales.
broomsticks down here, man.
Not with this Canales offense, man. All right, so I hope y'all enjoyed the episode. I hope we enlightened y'all with some good information, but not just enlightened y'all with some good information, gave y'all facts, stats, and everything that y'all can have fun and react to, man. All right, please comment, like, share, hit us up, man.
Subscribe.
Subscribe. Let us know what's going on. Are we giving you what you want? Are we giving you what you need? Is there more that we can be doing to supply you guys with the information and the topics that you want to see? All right.
Would you,
Remember,
let's ask this question. Would
yeah.
you rather see me or Stephen A. Smith? You rather talk to me or Stephen A. Smith?
Hey, even if we ain't there yet, we on our way, man.
We on
This,
our way.
yeah, this game day with Trey, man. Y'all be easy. Peace.
Peace.